Welcome back. In this segment, we're going to talk about how to post homework assignments to your class page and place them on the combined calendar. It's a one-step process that will take us all the way through. The nice part about this is posting course content saves us time on the back end of the teaching process from having to make copies for students who are absent or students who may have misplaced work. They now can access the content themselves and print out what they need on their time. Let's take a look. We start on the class page and press on the assignments folder. When posting to the assignments folder, we first see the contents of the folder, but because we're teachers, we're considered what's called the super user of the class page. So what we're going to do is click on the word assignments, and that will take us to the contents of the folder where we can choose what we'd like to add. In this option, we'll see several opportunities to add different items to the assignments folder. For our first example, we're going to go ahead and add a document. So we'll go ahead and click on Add. The only three things that are required of a document for a homework assignment are the title, which I will label with my course description, and then we'll say Multimedia Assignment number 1. Now this could be worksheet 25, and we could attach worksheet 25 if we wanted to. Complete the assignment. The document summary provides a mouse over, so if you hover over the hyperlink for the assignment, you'll see this will appear, and we'll show you the example of how this shows up when we hit on the combined calendar later. The event date will place this item in the calendar for all of the people who are members of this class. So if I want to say this is going to go ahead and be, the due date would be Valentine's Day, then we go ahead and select that, and that's it. That's all we really have to do are those two things, the date and the title. The document summary is also optional. Now I have other options in here which we'll explore a little further on. If I taught the same course, I could go ahead and I could multi-post this out to my other courses, but since this doesn't fit video production, I'm going to go ahead and remove those. The visibility is to everyone, including guest users, which is fine for this example. We'll go ahead and hit Save and Return. It loads the document with the hyperlink, so when I click on Done here, we'll go head back to the page. You'll see that contents really hasn't changed, but if I click on assignments, you'll see that assignment will now show up in there. If I go ahead, and you'll see the mouse over will be here, but if I go ahead and go back to that class page, you'll notice that it's added to the calendar. For all members of this class, this has already added into the calendar. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take this step up a little bit, and I'll show you how to place worksheets there for students to download at a later time. We'll even talk about the idea of interactive assignments. For that one, I have several examples. We'll go ahead and post one here. Remember, we just click on assignments in order to edit this, and then I'm going to go ahead and add another document this time. So I'm going to call this Tech Day in the Life of X Final Turn-In. Maybe it's an assignment about a video production, about an object. We'll go ahead and say Final Turn-In. We'll go ahead and give this a calendar date of possibly the 24th. Now down here under Add Content, we can enter text by hand, which we get a rich text editor. So if I wanted to copy something over from Microsoft Word, it would maintain all of its formatting. I could even embed video, even pictures. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and import an existing file. This is something that I've already created outside of Edline, but I want to make sure that my students can get directly to the information. So I'm going to go ahead out to my Documents folder, and I'll navigate out to this project, and I've got a PDF of the project handout for them. I'll go ahead and place that there. And remember, again, I can multi-post this to different classes if I wanted to. For this training purpose, I will not be doing so. And I go ahead and hit save and add another. So when I do my lesson planning for the week, I can sit down and I can post just the assignments up there. What this does is this is that front end work that I've talked about. It takes only, as you see, only about 2-3 minutes to do, and then we are ready to post another assignment very quickly. And this way, when the students say, can I get another copy of that, or I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be doing here, can you re-explain that? I can say, have you looked at the worksheet? Go ahead and it's up on Edline. Students can go back to the computer and they can look at it. So we'll go ahead and put one more in. We'll do a video survey with the students. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm going to cancel because I'm going to show you how to do something a little bit different this time. You'll notice now that if we wanted to go out, and I'll just show you this one quick time. Now the calendar is populated with 2 items. Now we'll go ahead and click on this one, and what this one will do is it will automatically launch the PDF with the project requirements for the students to go ahead and review, and for them to go ahead and it has all their due dates, everything in it already. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and close that out. We're going to go ahead and talk about how to add one more type of assignment in here. I really like the homework hand-in options because then there's no question as to whether students turned in specific homework assignments or not. So I'll go ahead and go to the homework hand-in. We'll go ahead and hit add, and you'll notice that the form is exactly the same. So I'll say screenwriting concepts 2 through 10. The summary, we can go ahead and say complete the assignment from your textbook. I've already used that, so I can use it again. So you can see it will autofill for me. We'll say that this is due on February 28th. Again, we can multi-post, but now you see that the form changes just a tad. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Build My Homework Hand-In, and what this is going to do is going to allow me to have a drop box for students to place work. So this is where I type my description of the assignment. Please complete concept. This assignment happens to be broken into different concepts, and I give them questions 2 and 3. And this again is, to your class, you tell them what you want them to do. You don't have to stay within my parameters here, but you get the idea. So I'm going to tell them also I want it typed, double-spaced, in size 12, font, and then I can set the number of points. If we're using Grade Quick Web, which we'll cover in a later tutorial, it allows us to actually grade it on the screen, and then it will place it directly into our grade books. So I'm going to go ahead and click Attach Handout, and if I wanted to, I could choose a file again to upload so the students could get a direction sheet, they could get a rubric for the answering the questions. For this one I don't have one, I just wanted to show you what that looked like. I'm going to go ahead and hit Save and Return. And you'll notice it still says Status Submissions Not Allowed because I have not turned it on yet. So we go back down, try the homework hand-in. What will it look like when students get to it? This is what it will look like. They go ahead and choose their file, and it uploads, and then they click Hand in My Homework, and they're done. So this is something they would complete on the other side. I'm going to go ahead and hit the back button here, take us back here. Users can access their work. You have, after they hit the Submit button. What I like to do is I often let them yes, view, and edit up until the due date. Yes, view only will allow them to see what they've turned in, but they will not be able to turn something different in. And no will just take them to a screen that says you've already submitted this assignment. We'll go ahead and leave this open. If I wanted to display the grading so I can type in a response when I grade them into Edline and show it to them on the back end, you'd be able to do that. If I'm using Grade Quick Web, I can sync this with my gradebook. I'm going to leave it out of my gradebook for right now. Responses are anonymous. No, this is by default. What this would do is it would remove the student's name from that. When I'm ready, I just go ahead and allow homework Handin submissions, and I hit save and return. You'll see that shows up in there, and then it will show up in their calendar as well. And then when they click on it, they're taken directly to that screen which I showed you before when we previewed the homework Handin. But since we're the super user of the class, if we click on it, we get taken to this page. But what the students actually see, just to clarify for you, is they will actually see the homework assignment, which is not loading here in this tutorial. Go ahead and get out of that. As you've seen, posting homework assignments to Edline is a rather simple process. It has a great deal of benefits on the back end. Students who are absent can catch up on work while they're at home. Students will also have the information in their combined calendars for access at a later time, so they keep track of their assignments. In our next segment, we're going to talk about posting tests to Edline.